Oh, people are adding their numbers as well, thinking it
Their
adds
phone
something
numbers?
to it. No, like their stats.
Oh, fuck
Like,
off.
we're 5 episodes in and we've had blah, 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 blah. Like,
All right.
all right, whatever. I don't care. I just don't care.
No.
It's an opportunity to do something funny. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, just, well, if we get even 10% of that, then we'll grow. And I should be like that, because that's kind of what I'm responsible for.
Yeah, the marketing side of things.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, fuck you all. Fuck you all. We're making a podcast.
Yeah.
So
Marketing without the numbers. So, you know, I do things.
yeah, it's there. It's in a market. I'm
Yeah.
standing in a market, just waiting.
Does anyone want this?
Yeah, if you want it, have it. If you don't want it, don't talk to me.
Yeah. Do you sell many of these? I don't know.
Well, we've sold 5. All right.
All right.
Is it shit? I don't know. It's not even I just want to have fun.
Yeah. Should I roll the intro?
I feel like we should. I know, like, we opened last week by saying how long it is, but it still marks the beginning of the show, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Plus, I opened it by shitting on a very specific podcast that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
So we can probably, like...
Did we... We didn't mention the name, did we?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, that was the thing that drew me to it.
Well, I can cut to the point where you mentioned the name. Because I think you mentioned the name first.
Yeah.
So we just have you shitting on it and it remains anonymous.
They then went into very specific detail about the 3 things that make it very specific to that podcast, apparently.
Yeah.
You could probably Google the 3 ingredients. And
Yeah.
be like, oh.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll talk amongst ourselves. Hold on.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Something to be fucking do.
Yeah. It could just be that last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Followed by the trail out.
Yeah. Need the trailer. I quite like the trailer.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
having something to talk over.
Yeah.
Even though we never really say anything of any use.
No, it
Over
just
it.
slowly warms.
Yeah.
Warms everything. How are you?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel like it hasn't been that long since we did one, but it's just because we saw each other in between, which
Yeah.
never happens.
Yeah, we actually had a friend meet up
Yeah.
briefly.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels
It was
like
more
we
of
don't have to do this anymore.
more of a marketing meeting.
You know, I've been thinking we should just tell them to fuck off. All right.
All right. Well, it's worked so far.
I mean, 2-3 years in,
Yeah.
we're doing well.
They really listen to us. Who does? Exactly.
The people who don't know about that we do this.
Yeah.
Even the people that do know, they're like, they do their thing. That just happens.
Yeah.
But it's not how it has to be. It's
Just how I want it.
It's just
how
the
I like
natural environment for both of us. Like, it took us ages to be comfortable with mentioning that we're on YouTube. We're just
Yeah.
like, if we don't tell anybody, they'll just know.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, if we ask them to subscribe, that feels disgustingly
it
awful.
does feel bad. It still feels bad.
Yeah. But it's like, it's one of those things with like, hey, if you didn't know, if you want a bit of encouragement,
Yeah.
it's not like, we're going to do it anyway. I think that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the difference. Is we're going to do this regardless.
Yeah.
But hey, if you want to be involved and you want to help us out, that's a good way to help us out.
Yeah.
But we're very anti doing things the
Quite
proper way.
anti-establishment.
Well, we mentioned it last week about we wanted to be a bit more the way that we kind of the things that we like about creativity is taking something that doesn't exist and then doing it regardless of wisdom or funding of any kind. Just like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, for example, was always a big thing for me. Of they just filmed a pilot episode on their camcorders.
Yeah.
And then just started submitting it to people. And it wasn't like, oh, we'll write the script and then, someone will find us, or they're an actor. They were actors looking for work and they weren't getting much work. So
Yeah.
they wrote their own sitcom
Yeah.
and did everything themselves. You'd be
Luckily,
like,
they were funny.
yeah, it's like this is done really well and it's unique because it's done by individuals who find it fun. And it's that having something and then just doing it. Rather than, if that's what it kind of feels like, where we're kind of like, if you subscribe to us on YouTube and if we, play promotional videos from other you know, from like BBC Radio, and be like, oh, that's how you get into this. Like, no, it's not. But it removes a little bit of the soul of what we want to do.
Yeah.
Not even as artists, just as loners.
Yeah.
Like in the marketing meeting we had, I brought up the point which was we need to start working together more, because even though we both do this podcast, there's still part of us that want to do stuff separately that kind of works together. I mean, all of our bits have been like, oh, Nick's done something and Steve's done something, and now they're showing it to each other.
Yeah,
and I've been like, in terms of,
I love the reveal aspect of that.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's a fun dynamic. But there was a weird unknown energy of like if I needed someone to film, I'd be like, well, I won't get Steve. I'll get someone else.
I won't get that guy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, just so that it helps with the reveal side. It'd be like, well, this was my thing.
Yeah.
And I'll show it to Steve. Oh, this is really good. And you go, that could work. But in terms of like saving money and working as a team, it'd be like, why don't we just do those more things? And I was just like, right, we need to be recognized of that. Because there's stuff that we've wanted to do for ages, about like interviews and things like that we're starting to make movements with. But there's like interviews where I wouldn't really be a good co-host. I think an interview would be better in some circumstances,
dependent on the theme and who you're talking to.
Yeah. If it was like just yourself talking to somebody about film, as in like the production process of filming and editing, I would just be like, and making stupid jokes in the background. Might work, but you go like, hey, you know what? How about we just have those two separate things? Yeah. And you do if that's a passion project you want to chase, you do that. I could do the same with stand-up comedy. You might not want to go to a comedy night every week to talk to somebody who's starting out, you know. But okay, do that. And it's like, well, yeah, but we can help each other do both projects. Yeah. By doing research and all those kind of other weird things. Be like, oh, let's try and make the podcast like a bit more team oriented, bit more. We're trying to build a community, and we should start with ourselves. So it's like, well, we do things. Can we help? No. Well, because my favorite example of that, as you well know, is like you started doing a cover song each week because you play songs and sing songs. That was a compliment.
Every now and again.
A while ago. Sing it, Steve. That's what it was all about. You did a cover song every week and uploaded a video of it, and your friends started getting inspired and started doing it as well. Yeah. And you were like, these twats. Like, fuck off. This is what I'm doing. Can't you get a fucking original idea, like singing someone else's song?
As though it was original at all.
But there's part of you that's like, I've got that same thing where it's just like, I'm doing my thing.
I'm building my domain, and you're encroaching upon it now.
Yeah, and it's just, it just takes a while for you to get into that productive, creative space. And then when you see that other people are doing it, you feel like you haven't gone through the process that I did. So therefore, you're just trying to suck my soul out of it. It's like, no. And you go like, I understand that. I've never felt that way. But I'm a demon. So it's like, I just like take blood out of people or whatever it is I do in my nightmares and dreams. But yeah, just trying to be aware of that and be like, hey, let's actually try and do, we both, I think we complement each other in terms of productivity and creativity. So it's like, well, let's try and work together a little bit more. I
don't know if we've ever actually made something together. No. Like a project. We've done this for like for a while. Yeah.
And even this, and I think the structure of this show at the moment is good, but there's still like a moment of like, this is Nick's part of the show, and then this is Steve's part of the show. There's a weird gap, and I think it's because we're both wanting to do creative stuff in slightly different ways or whatever. Yeah. And there's blurred lines over them. But there's a case where we just go, let's just try and mix it up a little bit more. Yeah. Because, I've never really written anything. I mean, we did a while ago. I started trying to push the idea of let's meet up week. This was before we podcasted, but when I bought a microphone to do something with. And it was like, let's meet up every week and talk through a writing exercise and start coming up with sketch. It was like the kind of the basic kind of idea of the podcast before the podcast. We started doing that, but even then that was, well, I've written this and you've written this, so this is good, it's fine, let's carry on.
These are both very separate ideas.
And I think that it would work on both, because it's not, and the thing is, it's that we don't, it's not taking criticism, it's just we've got our own vision that maybe it's not completely manifested yet. Yeah. And there's a feeling that well, if you start in giving me things like that, what do I have to involve you more? Do I have to talk to you more?
Yeah.
It's just like, no, we know each other well enough now just to be like, completely ignore what I say. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, but in terms of the minutiae of organizing stuff, or like if you were to interview somebody, like, oh, I heard him on blah blah blah, it'd be interesting maybe to talk about this, or would this be too much? Whatever. I think that's an opportunity for us to grow. So, yeah, I can't remember how we got onto the research meeting in terms of trying to do more things. And being open to grow more things. I mean, yeah, we opened it by me shitting on another podcast that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
But I'm still feeling uncomfortable about potential working with other people who don't have the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
Not even like it's not even uncomfortable. It's like what's it like? It's like putting a submission into the Eurovision Song Contest.
Okay.
For a laugh.
Yeah.
You're like, I totally expect this to go horrifically wrong.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that I submit every year.
Yeah.
So, because that whole, if you don't vote, then you can't complain about political status.
Yeah. Well, I put in my song about sausage rolls, and I hate this song.
If you're not a
and
fan
I can
of
hate this song because my song was about sausage rolls, and you've got a copy of it.
Yeah, you can't complain about the Eurovision Song Contest if you don't submit to the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
Which following that logic. So yeah, it's almost like getting into business. Something you go like, hi, you don't, probably the same with relationships, right? Hi, you don't know me yet, but I'm something. We'll just see how it envelops.
Yeah.
And just be prepared for whatever, and then just kind of go forward with it.
Yeah.
But there's still part of me that has that resistance, and it's just something to get out of the habit of. And we can start off with the podcast. Because, I mean, news stories, for example, we said for a while ago, I've got 10 pages of news stories today, just because that was what happened in my week. I don't think I'm going to go over, and each page is like 2 articles. I've got like 20 articles.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get through them all.
No.
And you just go, well, it's all this kind of stuff.
I've got plans.
Yeah, it's like, it's this good laugh. They're all quite funny. It would be good to do something with them. So you're like, oh, maybe we can find another place to do it with.
Yeah.
So as the podcast we get more and more comfortable with what we want to do with it after 140 episodes or whatever it is. Be like, oh, now we can start doing other things with it, and it can be fun. Instead of making it complicated, just be as simple as possible. So the big thing that came out of that meeting was we wanted to start doing more creative projects.
Yeah.
Because that was the original purpose of the podcast.
Yeah.
Was to start holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
Doing more creative stuff.
And we've done it in reverse.
Yeah.
We hold each other accountable for the fact that we've done nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the podcast kind of counts, but that became an easy thing to lean on.
Yeah.
It was like, well, I'm writing for the podcast, we record the podcast, and we edit the podcast. There's effort being put into a creative project.
Yeah.
But that's the bar being quite low, and we need to start practicing to raising it higher. So, we've decided on doing a minute a month creative project.
We're raising the bar, but just
by 1 minute. Just incrementally, right?
Yeah.
So 1 minute every month we
Each.
want to have creative something that lasts a minute long. So it'll be more than a minute's worth of work.
Yeah.
But we want to do video projects and film projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sketches and comedy and jokes and whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, well...
And there were a number of reasons for the length as well. Like, from a business perspective, it's very Instagram friendly to do a video that's 1 minute long. It allows us to publish it on more channels.
Yeah,
but
I think it's like a
from
side effect.
But that's just it. Like, like in actuality, it's because we really have no excuse not to do 1 minute.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Was like, oh, you go, oh, what do we actually want to do? Oh, it'd be awesome to make a mini series of episodes, each 10-minute long.
Yeah,
and make that like a 10-episode story arc.
Yeah,
there'd be a great story like Fargo, and that's 100 minutes of story, and that's actors, and that's that's like a
Let's
6
go
months.
to Fargo.
It's like that's like 6 months of work.
Yeah,
and you go, oh yeah, long term that can be the project, but you go, well, what could we do like now? All right, well, how about we just make one 10-minute thing?
Yeah.
You go, okay. But again, that's like a long process for people that don't know. I mean, I helped you out with a short film thing for your degree of some kind.
Yeah.
Well, that was like 10 minutes? Was that less than 10 minutes?
That was, it capped out about 9.5 minutes, something like that.
To say 10 minutes, that was at least 2 days of pure filming.
Yeah.
With 10 people
Yeah.
with locations and everything.
Yeah.
You just go like,
the
and
actual
that's without
planning side of
writing
that
or anything.
took forever.
Yeah, so you go, like, even a 10-minute project is a long project to do, but it's what we want to do. And you go, well, let's just start small and just be like 1 minute. It's not gonna. It's 3 vines or whatever a vine was. I can't remember what it was. Was it like 12 seconds or 15 seconds?
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, but it's a couple of vines. Can we do that each month? Just to try and do something creative and be like, right,
Yeah,
okay,
but
yeah,
I
I did
remember when
something.
Vine came out. I really liked Vine. There was loads
Yeah.
of stuff that I watched on there. It's fucking shit that it went under because it was just a really nice little platform.
Yeah.
But even that, I looked at it, I was like, oh, it'd be interesting to do this. And I was like, I can't commit to that.
Yeah, I think I made 3 videos.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
They were okay. But yeah, it wasn't trying to do something creative. It was just like, oh, I might piss about with this, see what happens. But yeah, we can't find any reason why you can't find time to make a 1-minute video each month.
Yeah.
I mean, people who've listened to the podcast for a while, I used to do audio skits and audio like cutouts from shows and news pieces that I found. That took me 30 minutes, and I would do that in the probably the day on filming, an hour or so before we came to record. So you go like, I can easily just plug together, even if it's just an audio thing. It's just like, I can easily do that, just not doing it.
Yeah.
The whole Saddam saga was like, that was a couple of hours of work, and we managed to make random skits out of something.
Yeah.
And all it is just, we've lowered the bar to trying to get comfortable and ease. And be like, we raise it, we go, oh, it's just more work. And we kind of don't want to do that. And you go, well, the thing that gets in our way, in my opinion, is these are things that we actually want to do. It's not like, oh, I need to, empty the loft. It's like, no, it's like you want to do this in your life, but there's a little bit of effort between you and there, and you don't visualize that thing enough.
Yeah.
I've said visualize a lot the last couple of weeks, but that's essentially what it is. It doesn't feel achievable or real because you haven't focused on it yet.
Yeah.
So just by trying to remove the effort barrier as much as possible, try and do that. And we were going to try and figure out if there was some kind of stimulus. So each month we'll do a video and try and figure out, should we make it on a specific topic? And by today we were going to figure out what the one that we're going to release in a couple of weeks was going to be. Have you thought of any stimulus?
It was just based off the one thing that we mentioned. Ideally, overall, we want the theme each month to be decided by like audience submissions. So people will submit something, and we will pick something that they submit.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like votes or anything, any shit like that. It's just send us something, and we'll be like, no, that's the one.
Yeah, and because we might not be able to think of something that other random people are going to be able to think of, and just be like, oh, it's a bit more challenging, or that's hilarious.
Yeah,
and just try and add our own mood to it.
Yeah, but the first kind of thing that I think we were both sort of circling around was just the idea of starting something just because that's what we were doing. Mm-hmm. But that idea in itself felt like it would be too meta, as in like it. And ideally, I would like to be producing things that all work in canon within their own world or what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
And when you start out talking about the world that you haven't made yet, then I think it draws people kind of out of it.
Yeah.
So I would rather use that same kind of theme, but as kind of in a metaphorical sense, just as the title. So rather than starting something, I only got 2. I had no excuses or less talk, more action, which I think can both kind of. You can draw whatever you like from that, and then
just ideas. It's fine.
And they're not necessarily like within the world, but it's a good kind of
my ones were
starting place to draw something from.
Motivation, or motivational speaker.
Yeah,
I think something like motivational speaker seems like same thing as no excuses.
Yeah,
and I guess you could say let's talk more action. They're kind of all in the same kind of area.
Yeah.
But it's just and what we mean by these stimulus is like we'll try and make something that we enjoy creatively out of that stimulus.
Yeah. So it's a 1-minute video each month based on a theme.
Yeah. And yeah, we want to do one in quick succession now because we want to feel like let's get the ball rolling kind of
so
thing.
the first one, like, we need to decide on today,
Yeah.
and then
And then
present
have a
it in
process
2 weeks, and then beyond that point, it would be the start of each month.
Yeah. Along those lines. And
Yeah.
it's a fun little project.
Yeah.
Try and do something. It doesn't even have to be good.
No.
It just has to be like experience of like, oh, you know, I didn't like the one I did last month, or oh, I thought I had a better idea but I needed more time, so I'll do that later. Getting into the practice of writing 1 minute's worth of material every month seems like a small goal, an easily achievable goal. Maybe it's not, maybe it's going to be way more complicated, but yeah, I think that should be cool. And yeah, our schedule on that was make a decision on it today, and then as the weeks go on we can dip into each other and be like, oh, how's your writing for this month going?
Yeah.
And how's that? What's going on with it? Just again to try and keep on top of each other.
Yeah.
To be motivated to do stuff. And yeah, we will be releasing it 2 weeks from when this episode is released. Is the aim, which is 2 weeks from us from deciding now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that should be interesting. And the aim is like once we can start doing a minute a month, maybe we can start doing 2 minutes every 2 months.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I
and
think
then grow it into, you know, a full length film.
Yeah, I think for me it's more about starting a project. Like, I've always thought that you were much better at like beats of humor, whereas a lot of my stuff is more focused on story. So I'm but I think we are both kind of interested in the idea of like world building.
Yeah.
So the idea for me would be to try and make something that that can potentially expand into something as time goes on. So yeah, but
that's always been my issue with writing as well, is where do I start?
Yeah.
If I'm given an idea, I can
I
run with it and be and make something in my mind. But
when
the
you're
problem is
making
I'm not making anything small idea-wise.
Yeah.
You go, like, well, this would be like, after 6 months, we'll have 6 ideas each to be like, and grow from and see what expands into.
When you're only making a minute, you'll find, I think, like an idea will sort of develop itself. It's almost like a sketch pad kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to convey an idea within that minute by law.
Which is another issue that I had, which is that I don't edit myself enough. Like, I'll write something and be like, yeah, that works. Whereas it's actually only kind of funny here and here.
Yeah.
And I have real trouble kind of condensing it. So it's going to be a practice of that for me.
Yeah. And I've done stuff like that similarly before in terms of joke writing, in terms of writing some stand-up. Like, I've written a few 5-minute stand-up sets that have never really gone anywhere.
Yeah.
But in that process, there's been a lot of, you only need to say these 5 words, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely nice. And with Twitter, that was great as well. I tried to do a joke a day years ago, and it was so nice to be able to just go like trim it down to 144 characters or whatever it was at the time. So yeah, a good writing exercise that we'll try and keep on top of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the plans.
Yeah.
So, should we say no excuses, motivation would be the stimulus?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would work.
Perspiration, that's something different.
Sweating.
What's it? Not perspiration, it's the other one.
Inspiration?
Perseverance.
Perseverance, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, perseverance is a thing.
Yeah, maybe that's a word that's in the middle of all those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no reference in that to starting something.
Yeah.
That's more continuous. I think perseverance is about 6 months' time.
No. Change? Yeah. Yeah. No excuses.
Yeah.
No excuses. We'll go with no excuses.
Okay, cool.
What was it? Well, sorry, what was the other one?
Pretty much the same. Less talk, more action.
Yeah, no excuses.
Which was based around the idea that I'm constantly talking about doing things and not actually doing them. I think we both kind of have that.
Yeah, no excuses / motivational speaker.
Yeah.
I think they work. That's enough of a stimulus to go in many different directions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that could work. Cool. Yeah, set in stone now, or set in bits. I don't know what this would be stored as. Bits. Why not? Otherwise, yeah, you had a good week. Apart from motivation.
Yeah, it's fine. Just
Meetings.
nose to the grindstone, sitting in front of an editor every day. It's the life I wanted.
Sitting in front of an elevator.
Editor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's all good.
But no, everything's going well. Nothing to report.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into the stories.
Feel good stories.
Feel good stories. A young girl has fallen to her death from a cruise ship.
Feel good, Doid.
Yeah, I feel good. In Puerto Rico, after reportedly being accidentally dropped overboard by her grandfather.
Whee! Whee! Well,
Pretty horrific.
yeah.
But you go, I mean, it must have been a tall ship to be impacted to the sea and die.
Yeah.
It was in port and it was concrete. So it was just horror.
Oh,
And the mother was in the room and
there's
just
no such thing as a soft landing on that.
not on concrete, from a boat.
Dropped it. Accident. What?
The American toddler, believed to have been 18 months old, fell from the 11th deck of the Freedom of the Seas while the boat was docked in San Juan. She landed on the concrete and was pronounced dead shortly after the accident. Pretty shortly.
Pretty shortly.
From the 11th floor.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Pretty
trust
shortly,
me.
as in the length of time it took the guy to get over to her.
Yeah.
Like,
just to get
yeah,
within,
she's
to get around a corner and see the
Yeah.
death on the floor.
I pronounced this toddler dead.
Gets her. Everyone, pay attention. Just got a quick thing to report. She's dead.
Yeah.
It's pretty harsh. I didn't know you could throw your children out of windows on boats.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe it's a thing of like holding the kid up to see. You know, like
Maybe.
people do that sometimes, like through windows and over fences.
But did
and
we not
things.
like learn from?
But I don't know if you hold them out of the window.
But that's the thing. Eric Clapton was years ago.
Yeah.
He wrote a whole song about it,
Yeah.
and kids are still falling out of
Cocaine.
windows. Sunshine of your love. Creamed on the streets of, was it New York? Can't remember. So it's a weird. Someone mentioned that being a weird reference because of how old it is, but it's a reference.
It is.
But yeah, they started to question why there was windows that babies could fit through on boats,
Okay.
and you kind of, it's a valid
Well,
question.
it's a pretty small window that won't fit a baby through it. So,
Yeah.
like, do you then just get rid of all windows?
Well, just don't make them openable.
Yeah.
You're on a boat.
Air
deal with it.
conditioning. Sort it out.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I mean the portholes on the under the water level, like, they don't open, do they?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Like, they haven't got like a little lead. It's the same argument. You just go,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's nice to have a breeze, but yeah, just have like a grate, something that opens up instead. Feel good stories.
Does that mean that the window it's window and then
Must be, yeah,
world?
yeah.
Like I thought with a
If it
cruise
was
ship.
dropped by the grandfather as well, like I imagine, even if he's leaning out, he's not leaning out far
Yeah.
with a baby.
That's the thing. I've always thought with a cruise ship you have like a gangway that you walk along. So like the window against the side,
Yeah.
and then the door next to it, and you walk out, and there's like a walkway, and
Yeah.
then railings.
I get, yeah, that mustn't have been the case if it
Yeah.
fell onto concrete.
Obviously not.
No. Feel good stories.
You're good doing.
It's just one of those things where it's so unbelievable
Yeah.
that I don't know how traumatized I would be by this podcast after doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Like if I then had kids years down the line, would I not want to hold them out of windows of boats? Maybe I'd just be like, no,
No. Yeah.
because I made a joke about joke about that, and with my luck,
That would.
all those things will happen to
Yeah.
me.
So you're not doing that. You're not getting married in a helicopter. You're not like. There's a big laundry list of shit just
My
not
life's
to
just
do.
gonna be very, very grey.
Yeah. Yeah.
just 'cause-
No risks.
just do it anyway because
No
I want
risks.
to die.
I don't want the rewards. Just no risks.
Don't get in helicopters, please.
Yeah.
In other feel-good stories, metal straws should be used with caution, a coroner has said, after a
God.
retired jockey died when she fell onto one which impaled her eye and killed her.
Oh,
Just slipped and fell onto a metal straw.
Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
That's horrible.
It's just like people.
That's-
We were talking about the benefits of metal straws
Yeah.
not that long ago.
Oh,
Oh my god. Not that long ago, and you just go, yeah, I think that's probably a very bad idea.
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I think, especially if it goes through and you go, of course it goes through eyes.
Yeah.
It's not gonna not go through eyes. It goes
Yeah.
through plastic.
Yeah.
Eyes are worse than plastic.
It's a bit Final Destination, that.
Yeah, just a bit. It was a 10-inch stainless steel straw, which is probably how big I would imagine a metal straw to be.
Yeah, but
So
then
not crazy.
I mean it's only as dangerous as a knife or a pair of scissors or like whatever.
yeah, but you don't put knives in your mouth.
Maybe you don't put knives in your mouth. A fork.
Apparently, Yeah, and this is longer than well, the big thing they were saying was it was I've got one of them, you've probably got one of them, like a mason jar cup with a lid with a hole in it.
Yeah.
It was like that. So when she fell onto it, it didn't like slip horizontally because it was wedged in this glass jar thing.
Yeah.
So it just went straight through her.
Oh.
So the kind of thing they're saying is like, metal straws should never be used with a lid that fixes them in place, and you should use great care when you're trying to use them. They're eco-friendly because they kill people, I guess.
I read a thing the other day that said, this is unrelated, but speaking of like eco-friendly, that there was some health official in the 60s or 70s, I can't remember, in the US, that made a claim to the government to encourage people to smoke more because it was better for the environment, because people would die sooner.
Right. Oh.
Right.
Take your arsenic vitamins.
Yes.
And everything will be fine.
Yeah.
They'll die happy,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Until
Thank
you
you,
see those
Mr.
adverts.
Marlborough, for your suggestion.
I found one of those. I knew they kind of existed, but they're kind of getting more national. That like, you've got like Just Eat and Uber Eats.
Yeah.
There's also these ones that will just get you anything.
Oh,
So
like
you can get,
Deliveroo.
cigarettes,
Oh, okay.
chocolate bars,
Right.
Whatever. They'll just go
They just
to
go
a
to the shop for
24-hour
you.
shop and get it to you within 90 minutes. I think it's like the top tier. And like, I was like, oh, they won't have it in Stoke because they probably just have these in the cities. But like, no, apparently they claim to have it in Stoke.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, but it's like an obvious crazy markup, like at least like 60% on some stuff. But
Yeah,
you go,
fuck that.
well,
But if you're pissed,
yeah, or if you're
can't
just
drive,
lazy,
want cigarettes.
yeah, or if it's like far away, you'd be like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Just have it delivered to your door as well
Yeah.
as like shampoo.
I want a day out at Waterworld.
Bring Waterworld to me.
Well, it's at least 60%. Well, it's £8 to get in. So,
Give me life experiences now.
yeah. I'll give you £15 for that.
In other news, these are all from last week, as I'm remembering. I just didn't have time to get them in. A boy stabbed his brother because he would rather be in jail than spend 8 hours in a car with him. Like they were going to Disneyland or whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
shut up. Oh, right, I'm going to prison.
Yeah. Peace at last.
Yeah, well, he's 15.
Jesus.
The teenager complained that... Oh, no, he's 13. The teenager complained that his 15-year-old brother had been teasing him before he slashed him 3 times with a pocket knife.
Christ.
The victim was found bleeding heavily in the drive of a house in Florida while his sibling sat in the front seat of their car.
Ready?
Prison. He's 13 years old.
Why is he 13 years old with a pocket knife?
I had a pocket knife when I was 13.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair
I
enough.
just had it because I wanted scouts.
Well, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I've still got it on me and it's caused
Well,
me
you
problems.
you always have like a Stanley knife or something on your keys.
Well, mine's a pocket knife. It's the same pocket knife I had when I was like, 10 or 11.
Fair enough.
It was just, from scouts because you needed to whittle at a moment's notice. To make a dishwasher or something.
Yeah.
And it's just useful.
Yeah.
Just
There's
to
a
have
lot of the
knife.
camera guys that I follow on YouTube and they swear by having pocket knives. I've just never thought to buy one.
Well, it's just a screwdriver wherever you go.
Yeah.
And just knives to get things out of stuff. Have you ever had to get a SIM card out your phone? You just you have to, there's weird small holes you need a paper clip to do or something. You're like,
Yeah.
my pocket knife can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it becomes useful every now and then.
Yeah.
So I can understand why he's got a pocket knife. The teenager said he had enough of his brother and didn't regret attacking him on Saturday. According to the arrest report, he told officers, I'd rather be in jail than 8 hours in the car with him. 13-year-old.
13. Good parenting.
Stab, stab, stab.
Jesus.
We all go through moods as teenagers.
Not stabby moods.
Family stuff.
Yeah. Oh, puberty.
This was this week. In other news, a mother was arrested for having her 2 daughters ride in an inflatable pool on top of her car. So she was in her car driving. It took
Yeah.
me a while to understand what the hell was going on.
Okay.
With an inflatable pool just on the roof.
Right.
But if you turn, that roof's just going to slide off, isn't
So
it?
it's not tied on
No.
or like, no.
No, well, I need to put a weight on this.
Oh.
So she used her children.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
Just she drove to she drove into town to inflate the pool at a friend's house So, I can't inflate this pool at my house. I'll go to my friends. How do I get it back? Oh, well, only just sacrifice your children.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
And literally, yeah, if she turned too sharply, I mean, I think it could work. Like, maybe your children will be unscathed. But if you turn just a little too sharply, they're going to fall off the car into the road.
Yeah.
If you brake too sharply, if you accelerate too sharply, just no.
That's crazy.
You get, maybe there's like a roof rack and they're holding onto it. I'd hope
That's
they've
not
at least
good.
got that. Yeah,
Still not good.
You need more.
Don't put your kids on the roof. Don't hold them up near windows.
Yeah,
Don't put them on the roof.
Yeah. The Dixon police tweeted an image of the SUV with the pool and said, having your children sit in an inflatable pool on top of your car while driving will get you arrested.
Good.
Just a PSA. Just getting that out there, just in case people didn't know. If you don't have kids in your car, but you're still transporting them somehow, even if it's in a pool, we're going to arrest you.
Don't be a moron. I will arrest you.
This one, from the first paragraph, I don't remember why it's funny, but let's go for it. A woman in the US state of Texas, feel good stories. A woman in the US state of Texas has been arrested after her mother's remains were found in the 2-bedroom home she shared with her daughter.
Feel good stories.
Feel good stories.
Not sure about that one.
Slowly replacing toe in the water. I think it's just because I prefer the video for feel good stories.
Yeah, it is good.
I'm working on toe in the water. I know what I want. I just need to figure it out.
Just a toe in a glass of water.
Yeah. Police believe the grandmother, 71, suffered a fall in 2016, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They allege her daughter, 47, failed to provide adequate help at the time. Well, yeah, she died. She had a fall. Now she's dead. I'd argue you didn't give her enough help.
Yeah.
You could have treated the wound or something.
Called somebody.
Yeah, done anything, because it was a non-life-threatening fall.
Well, she's dead now.
Well,
Just leave her there.
just a waste of space.
I'm going to burn the casserole.
Yeah. The skeleton was found on a bedroom floor. The mother and daughter just slept in the other bedroom.
Get...
Because, like, police came and found a skeleton. And were like, well, have you used this room? No, we've just closed the door and we just sleep in the other room.
Got any skeletons in your closet? I've got one in the guest room.
This is what I found funny. The granddaughter was under the age of 15 at the time that she was living with a corpse. As a result, her mother has been charged with injury to a child.
Oh.
So with a number of steps. Number one, she didn't save her mother's life, the mother. So died. But because she didn't dispose of the body by any means, she was traumatizing the child, therefore relating to an injury of the child. It's a weird injury when there's a dead person next door.
Yeah.
Yeah, down the hall. Yeah, you're injured now. Got a weird limp and a weird twitch. What's that? Well, my grandmother's corpse haunted me literally for 3 years. What do you mean literally? It was there.
Yeah.
Again, secret funerals. Who doesn't know? Is it? Oh, that's the only family they have. Where's Gladys? We haven't seen her in 3 years. Oh, she's fine. She's just become a bit reclused.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, there needs to be questions. That's probably how they got found out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You'd assume she's got friends, a long lost friend that speaks to her every few years or something.
Yeah, or concerned neighbours. Old people like neighbours.
Yeah.
You know. That's probably how they got caught, though, to be fair. Is eventually, after 3 years of not seeing someone who's not dead, you think you'd start to... can I borrow her record player? No, because her corpse is wedged up against the door.
Yeah.
Trying to get out.
The thing is, why wouldn't you tell someone if you weren't trying to kill them?
Yeah, and there's no hint that it's for financial reasons. There's no mention of that I can remember. So it just seemed like laziness.
Yeah.
I mean, we've covered a few similar stories about, like, people having children or, like, what was it? Gave birth to things that didn't survive because they didn't tell anybody about it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They just left the body for 15 years or something.
In a backpack. I remember that one.
Like behind a sofa.
Yeah.
There's other ones we've covered. We've covered loads of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Feel good stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't injure your children with the dead. Good advice. In other news, Arnold Schwarzenegger has hit back at Donald Trump by demanding he release his tax returns after the US president suggested the actor and former governor had died.
Baby's dead.
In a tweet, he gets in a lot of trouble for tweeting. A White House reporter quoted Mr. Trump saying, "Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what? He died. I was there."
What?
That's a surreal moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's a ghost dad moment.
Yeah.
Where, like, except it's Bill Cosby in his whole career.
He said what?
I'm not dead. But just 1 hour later, Mr. Schwarzenegger, who's not dead, quoted the tweet and added, "I'm still here. Want to compare tax returns?" Because apparently
Tax returns.
something about tax returns.
Yeah.
The journalist clarified the president had been referring to the Terminator star's TV ratings in terms of his death. Because I think Arnold Schwarzenegger took over Trump's The Apprentice.
Okay, yeah.
And it only lasted a year. So
Yeah.
he's saying the ratings of the show died, but he said it. He died, I was there. All right, fair enough. Yeah, apparently the tax returns are meant to go along the lines of proving that Donald Trump lost over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And he's just not releasing it. And
Well,
they're like, well, why aren't you being open about your finances?
I think it's a precedent has been set for the president to release their tax returns every time whenever they take office.
Yeah, and he's just being secretive about it because he...
Yeah, because you don't have to.
Yeah.
There's no law that says you have to.
Yeah.
It's just others have decided to.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing to deny.
Yeah.
Because it implies guilt
Yeah.
is the problem.
Yeah.
In other news, I'm sure you've seen it. This is getting very big. I got this last week and I've updated it. More than 600,000 people have signed up to raid secretive military base to, in quotes, see them aliens.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's now 1.4 million people. They're going to just...
Do you think anyone's actually going to show up?
I hope they do. And in a weird way, I hope they all get shot.
I think they are going to get shot if they try.
They will get shot.
Yeah.
I was trying to think about it in different ways. This is the whole Storm Area 51 movement.
Yeah.
Of like, I think it's September 20th. They're just like getting... It's a just for laughs thing.
That's a while away. Like,
Exactly.
Do you want to...
They're losing
gonna
the
die out
element of
before then.
surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an obviously joke account, but I imagine that there'll be some people who will take it seriously for the laugh of it, and it'll be interesting to see what happens on that day.
Yeah. I think if
'Cause
they
you'll just
know
get-
they're coming...
Well, there's two things they can do. They can abandon the location, the military can,
Yeah.
but you could do that, but
I
that's going
imagine
to cost
it's
money.
very heavily defended.
Well,
hugely
at
heavily.
least as well defended as a
And
military
if there's anything
base.
in there worth protecting, they'll just send like planes over and firebomb everybody.
It's just the principle.
Yeah.
You can't attack a military base.
No.
And the American military allow it to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, there'll be a weird thing of either, they'll spend time and money and resources evacuating the facility so that when they do raid it, then they'll just look around an empty place. Or the army will be like, don't run towards the army the same way that you can't storm a prison. Yeah, they couldn't stop you all, but the government would turn against you because you're turning against the government.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please don't do this. Or please do, at least film it.
Yeah.
This is what GoPros were made for. GoPros and Twitch working together. The event titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us. It's so brass-eye.
Yeah.
That's
It's very Chris Morris.
the name of the event.
Yeah.
They can't stop all of us. They could.
They can.
They could eventually.
Yeah.
They definitely could.
Like, how many of you are going to show up? 1.4 million have said, yeah, most of them won't be there.
We'll say 1%. That's still like 100,000 or 10,000 people.
Still a lot, but I don't even think that many will show up.
Maybe.
It's just one of those things that everyone's jumped on board and be like, oh yeah, I'll be there.
I think loads of people, if people do go, they'll go to see what happens. And there'll be loads of people there waiting to see what happens and nobody running at them.
Yeah.
And just be like, because the government, I mean, they've released plans on how to attack it based on your horoscope.
Yeah.
So they've been like, well, we're going to parachute in the Aquariuses. The Capricorns will come from the south. The Sagittariuses will go via the tunnel. And so it's obviously all good fun and jokey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just
Some
think
people will take it seriously.
there will be at least a small percentage of those people who'll be like, it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Just want to see
Just
what
gonna
happens.
Get mowed down.
That's what real
Gonna
podcasting
get destroyed.
is. Let's get shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a defended military facility.
Yeah.
It's not GTA 5.
No.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
The US Air Force is not amused, a spokesman told the New York Times. Any attempt to illegally access military installations or military training areas is dangerous. No trespassing signs in the area reportedly state that the use of deadly force is authorized.
And has been used before.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's just people's fascinations with Area 51. There's so many people about been like, I've seen UFOs.
The last guy that jumped the fence there got shot.
Did he?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I do not.
Because the guy that was holding the
that.
gun said, "Get down on the floor and put your put your hands above your head or whatever the fuck it is."
Yeah.
And he just carried on running. So they shot him.
Yeah.
It's like that's what happens.
But that makes so much sense in my mind. That when other people say it, it's like all these people who have like pretend or fake guns or toy guns, and we've heard a few stories about police being saying like put down the gun, and instead they've wheeled it at them, and it's been like. They think you've got a gun. They don't even know if you've got a gun, but they have to assume that you do because you're pointing it at them. They've got to shoot you. Just don't do it, please. But people are like, oh, well, he was only 7. It's like, a 7-year-old with a gun is still able to shoot you. You just don't point guns at people.
Yeah.
Like, at least
Well,
listen to the authority.
That kid with was it a BB gun?
Yeah. And in a final thing, he went for it, and it's just like, dude, like,
and he was like,
what do you want to happen?
Was he like 12?
He was young, yeah.
He was young,
But
and he was firing at cops with a BB gun. They just blew him away.
But it's that resistance to authority that I don't care. It's like, I think people see it, it's insecurity is what it is, I guess. Like if a police officer tells you to do something, the only reason that you wouldn't want to do it is because of some sort of insecurity within you. Yeah. Like if you doubted they were a police officer, that's a different subject. But there's this feeling of like, oh no, you can't tell me what to do. And you go, well, you need to surrender yourself to that authority at that time. They're not going to be your authority forever, just right now.
While you're on their property.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with everything. Like if if I was concerned about somebody, let's say someone was having a mental breakdown and I wanted to go up and see if I could help. I would need to assert some authority in that situation in order to control it, right? If I don't think this person can control it, I'd be like, number one, is there someone that I should call? That's probably the same thing a police officer would say. But you just go like, well, I need to know, before we get any further, do you know, are you aware that you've got issues? And are you aware of anything that I can do to help you right now? Yeah. And then, but that's a level of authority that comes in from nowhere and people just react to it really weirdly. And yeah, I can't understand why, because I'm secure in my own authority, but that doesn't mean I have to be in control all the time. Yeah. I think we've said it before, like, because I typically am the designated driver whenever I go anywhere, really. Offer people lifts and stuff like that, and it's because I prefer to drive.
Yeah, I will say by choice.
Yeah. I'll always push it to be like, no, it's fine, I'll drive. I honestly don't mind, and it makes no difference to me whatsoever. But I think we discussed it a while ago. You're like, oh, is it a thing that you kind of feel like you have to drive? Like, is it something that you feel more in control of? It's like, no, that's just something that's a service. I don't really drink. That's a service I'm willing to provide. There's a small thing about I know what's in my car, and so I've got a lot of medication. If I need a medication thing, I can get it from my car. But yeah, it's not a case of Nick doesn't get driven anywhere. It's like, no, it's just I can provide that authority at that point. And if it gets removed, okay. Yeah. It's fine. So I guess it's... But yeah, I mean, there's different ways, segue, to introduce authority to different situations. Okay. In Manchester this week, a topless man sparked mass panic at a busy shopping centre when he began shouting and indicating he had a gun. Armed officers were called to the food court at Manchester Arndale at around 1:20 p.m. on Saturday before it was evacuated, but police did not find anyone with a gun. Witnesses said they saw the man standing on a table and shouting. Therefore, he had a gun, I guess. One shopper told the Manchester Evening News he started shushing everyone. Run! Evacuate! He's shushing us! Telling them to be quiet and saying that they should listen to him. Okay. Sorting authority. Shh. Yeah. Is that, I don't know of many massacres that start off with shh. There's always a first, but it just seems like a very shh. Yeah. Bomber. I've got something to say.
Bomber in a library?
Maybe. He then said, "Can I have everyone's attention, please?" According to the eyewitness, who said the man then started to undress. He is believed to have put... Just shush! Shush! Everyone quiet. Pay attention. He's got a gun! He is believed to have put his t-shirt back on as he fled from the city shopping centre.
Yeah, when he realised the police were coming.
And looking for a topless man. The man who caused the disturbance was not seen with any weapons, but nevertheless it caused fear and panic to quickly people out. I do think that he was a black man. I don't know whether that is a big thing in Manchester.
What,
If someone of black descent starts stripping, do they think he's going to kill everyone? I don't know.
I don't think
Is
that's
that an
a
Oasis
thing.
song? I don't know.
No. No?
Shush, 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 shush. She's killing us all. So yeah, and I don't know how you indicate you've got a gun. I guess.
Well, unless you say it.
Yeah, and all he told, if anything, he wanted peace and quiet.
Yeah. Shush.
Yeah, I'm warm.
Yeah.
It's warm. He's got a gun.
No.
Run! Run quietly. Shush. And I think probably lastly from me, a man has been said to be terrorising a quiet Somerset village while dressed in a gimp suit. The rubber-clad assailant, described by one victim as touching his groin, grunting and breathing heavily, has jumped out at several men and women late at night over a number of weeks in Claverham. He's caused such alarm that after the latest incident at 11:30 p.m. on Thursday, officers launched a helicopter and a sniffer dog search.
To find a man in a gimp
I've had enough of this gimp. Release the helicopters.
Jesus.
One woman described her experience of it in her 20s and wants to remain unnamed. She said, I was walking along with my torch and looked up to see someone charging at me in full black rubbery suit. And I managed to take a picture. He kept coming towards me and was touching his groin, grunting and breathing heavily. As I tried to take a step back, he was right in front of my face and he put his leg forward. I was just trying to assess the situation in my head quickly. Everything was running through my head. I thought, this is it. I'm going to get attacked.
Yeah.
So, genuinely, she was experiencing physical fear. Makes sense. She added that the man did run away when she started to scream. So, he is causing problems.
Yeah.
He hasn't escalated.
He's not
the
assaulting
problems.
anybody. He's not.
He's just charging towards people. I can't remember if that's a crime or
Oh,
not.
is it? What was that thing? Someone got arrested for causing. Oh, what the hell was it? It wasn't like causing fear, but it was
Terror.
being menacing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the rest of the story was, but they got arrested for being menacing.
Yeah, we did have one of those where a guy was flying a plane into a building, and he was doing so in a menacing way. I think there's been many different. I don't think that's the only story where someone was arrested for being menacing. I do recall stuff like that. So yeah, being intimidating,
causing menace, yeah, or acting menacing. I don't know.
Yeah, the terms are getting looser and looser.
Yeah,
but I'd argue that this person should be arrested by the police. But
well, if he's scaring people and it's not Halloween.
You can't just run up to people and be near them.
Yeah.
And then run away.
No.
Whilst knowingly being intimidating, as in covered in a full body suit of whatever kind.
Unless it's a sport. If it's a sport, you can do that.
Make people scream.
Yeah.
You got gold. Good man.
Yeah.
He had a helicopter chase. So yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's obviously doing it for some reason, but should be stopped for his own safety as well as others.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I would pull a weapon. I think, if I had one.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're gonna find someone whose fight or flight response is fight, and they are just gonna clothesline you like into a road.
Yeah.
Or like whatever.
There was a thing ages ago about someone doing it as a clown as well.
Oh, there were a lot of people doing that shit.
Yeah, I think there was murders involved. I can't remember.
Yeah, there were
been
clowns coming out of the woods and weird shit like that.
I don't know if they got helicopter chases.
Yeah.
Be easier to find a clown. You just follow the trail of balloons. No,
yeah,
it's over there.
Yeah,
like a GPS tracker.
Balloons, funny wigs, big shoes.
Well, there's one
big footprints, I suppose.
Yeah, squeaky ones.
Yeah,
yeah, and no other references in my head. I was going to do something about salsa bottle, but how do you track salsa bottles? Bubbly puddles. They'll lose their bubbles over time, mate. It's a terrible reference.
Yeah.
You should have stopped at balloons.
You don't know how soda works.
Loser. Do a minute on bubbles. Minute month bubble month. No, we've had a lot of user submissions. Just haven't been able to get around through a lot of them. But one of them was about a kid who got suspended from school for stating that there were only two genders. Has
the
since
Scottish
been
kids.
expelled.
Yeah.
He's been expelled from his school.
Yeah.
Because the school feel like he was being antagonistic.
Yeah.
So there's definitely the rules of everything.
Well,
that's
that's
kind
just
of being a little bit strange.
Yeah. That story was fucking bizarre to me.
But just weird because their statement is they want to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
And they're being more inclusive by being more exclusive.
Yeah.
It's just like, please think.
Why can't
a kid, one, be wrong, and two, learn?
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, isn't that the point of school?
Yeah.
To educate and discuss
that's the
and
whole
learn?
idea. Whether
No.
you agree with it or not.
You've said what we think is the wrong answer, so
Yeah.
you're not
You're
allowed in this
expelled.
school anymore.
Yeah.
Fucking morons.
You are being menacing, sir.
Yeah, just like, okay,
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
whatever you say.
Yeah. Jared was terrified.
Yeah. There was another few quick ones from audience stuff. I'm not a fan of the audience segment video anymore, so imagine an audience segment video.
Yeah.
Audience
segment.
Good times. A politician in Pakistan has praised the pilot of an airplane that narrowly avoided hitting an oil tanker by inches. Turns out it was just GTA. It was just video from a GTA video. That he was like, oh my god, people nearly died. Like,
Yeah.
What a hero.
Graphics have gotten amazing. Yeah.
But you watch the video and you go, no, it's a game. But I'm watching it from my perspective of
Yeah.
I've got experience with games.
Someone who's played games. Yeah.
And played that game. So
Yeah.
I don't know how...
But
I still
imagine
can't
if
see
you
it being
showed
realistic.
someone, say 30 years ago, a game from today.
Say Toy Story, that's always my go-to. But that would blow people's minds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this is from another world.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. But that's what goes into what I was saying before, I think last week, about social media. A lot of people's presence on social media is just spouting out shit. So, and people are criticizing him because he's he's a politician in Pakistan. He should know better. He'd be like, he probably doesn't even use his own Twitter account. Someone else is just tweeting on whatever's relevant or trending or something that's somewhat cool, that is tweeting about it and saying something.
Yeah.
Because most of Twitter is shouting at a wall.
Yeah.
And some of them get picked up. So you're spouting shit. It's part of the reason I
Constantly.
don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Be like,
I can't get involved in it.
No, but yeah, so this, you're an idiot. It's like, no, social media is an idiot.
Yeah.
And trying to be present on social media is pretty stupid. And if you just take it at face value, stop putting all this value into it. And lastly, from an audience member, just to prove that it's not just me that comes up with this stuff.
All right.
A 2-year-old girl was eaten alive after falling into a pit of crocodiles on her family farm.
Feel good going?
Feel good.
Falling into a pit of crocodiles.
Pit of crocodiles. To be fair, there was a crocodile pit farm behind their house.
All right. We farm crocodile pits.
Worst part is nobody noticed. Like, as in, wasn't someone watching her and it happened.
So
the
she
husband
wasn't loved.
I think her mother was looking after her, but was busy breastfeeding her other baby.
Right.
And the father got home from work at 10 a.m. and began looking for the toddler and found her head.
Oh.
Feel good stories.
I don't know what's wrong with the crocodiles. They're just not eating today. Oh.
Yeah, just neck down, Atkins.
Yeah.
Or keto, whatever you want to call it. We don't eat heads. They were small crocodiles, I think.
Oh, good.
Small pet crocodiles. Maybe this couldn't
Small
fit the
crocodiles.
head.
Small children.
Yeah. Police said the family had recently built a fence around the 10-foot high concrete pool of crocodiles.
What?
But children were still small enough to fit through the gaps.
Well,
That's
what's
not-
the fucking point in the fence then?
It's not a great fence, mate. Just think about it. These crocodiles are smaller than the children, first of all.
Yeah.
So the crocodiles can also fit through this fucking fence.
Jesus Christ.
Officers have urged other families to take extra care to prevent children from getting into crocodile farms.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I'll get right on that. Yeah.
We're just urging people not to feed their children to crocodiles.
Well, we've got a good fence around our crocodile pit.
It lets snakes through, but not crocodiles. So we're happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my stuff. For this
Christ almighty.
Feel good.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
Groups of old people in New Zealand have formed coffin clubs, who are they're banding together to make their own funeral coffins. They say that it helps combat loneliness and is a cost-effective way of having a coffin. They also make baby coffins and donate them to local hospitals.
Isn't that lovely?
It's
Oh, that's terrible. That's you know how businesses, they have to justify their budgets. Right. So if they've got a certain amount spent on marketing, in order to get their increase in budget the following financial year, they need to spend that budget completely. Otherwise the budget will come down. Imagine if your budget of baby coffins was, we've got too many baby coffins. Right? And if we don't start killing all these babies, we're just going to lose all these baby coffins. Then the old people will stop and then they'll be lonely. It's a weird system.
Yeah.
They don't make normal people. Well, I guess
normally old people like they knit for their grandkids.
Oh, these ones are knitting coffins.
Well, it's pretty selfish if you ask me. Making something for themselves when they're not going to be alive to experience it.
Or just like, oh, I just want a personal, like, you know, it's awkward when you get like a birthday card with a £1 coin sellotaped into it.
Yeah.
I'd rather get my own coffin.
That would be good. Yeah.
Does it fit? You know, try it out.
You get people who like that kind of shit, man. It's like
coffins.
Well, though that well, if you
I guess you could collect coffins.
Well, I mean more like the tight space kind of things. Like I bet there's some people that sleep in coffins. They're
Probably.
bound to be. Like
there must be.
It's like those hotels where you rent a pod.
Yeah.
It's just a tiny little tube.
Yeah.
And like some people dig that shit, man. Like, I guess maybe it's like being. Maybe it always felt a bit maternal to me, like being in the womb or something.
You've said previously that if you're sleeping in a wide open room, you sometimes get some kind of perspective inertia.
Yes. Yeah.
So like maybe that gets reduced in a smaller room.
Yeah.
And
Maybe.
You get that thing. Like I think everything's got that tightness. Everybody's got that kind of feeling of tightness.
Yeah.
Being comforting in some way, apart from people
like
who are phobic of it.
Yeah.
Like, but that's like
swaddled.
the whole baby swaddling and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of see it as maybe, but yeah. Other than that, I think it'd be quite decorative to have a load of coffins.
Yeah,
it's good storage.
I think you could have one. I don't know if I'd have a load. Like
crocodiles,
have one. Don't need a pit of them.
Well, let's have a fence around it, not a good one, just a fence, more for decorative purposes. Yeah. But yeah, what if? I think it'd be quite good to have your own coffin. Be a good project.
Yeah,
you have your own. That's me sorted.
Yeah,
and you could use it to store stuff in until you die.
Yeah,
have like a Jack in the Box in it, so that people come by to pick you up.
Yeah, and then when you die, you still keep it like that, but you've just put your head on it.
If you've gotten eaten by crocodiles, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
You've still got the head. You can still be a Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Always thinking.
Yeah. Efficiency.
The UK spent £2.5 million in the 80s to imprison a consensual gay S&M community. The dominant partners were charged with assault, and their submissive partners were charged with aiding their own assault.
You're guilty of you,
assistance to, yeah.
But if it was, that's the weird part of like, well, if it's requested, I mean, if you have an operation done on you,
so it's not assault, is it?
Yeah. Hang on, they conducted a study where they imprisoned these people. And then what? Then stuff happened, and then they put them in another prison?
Wait, what? What on this?
My mind might have jumped around again.
Oh no! It was
a social experiment.
No. They spent £2.5 million in the 80s to imprison a consensual gay sex community. A consensual gay S&M community.
Why?
Well, it was the 80s. Was homosexuality?
That's what we did.
Was it legal? Was that kind of stuff legal then? Were we before those times?
Judging by Sean Penn, I think Milk
Milk, yeah.
came out in the early
Well, that was
80s.
America. I don't know what it is over here.
Oh, did they do it over here? I don't remember whether it was illegal.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe
it
it
was.
wasn't.
It was definitely illegal at one point.
We say that. Well, apparently, I saw something recently that apparently slavery was only made illegal in 2010 in the UK
Maybe officially, yeah.
because it was never really a thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was more like you were kidnapped. You weren't a slave. You were abducted.
Okay.
There was like a different terminology for it. Still
Right.
happened. We still had a different issue. Apparently, it was made illegal to trade slaves, like in 1800s.
Yeah.
But yeah, to own a slave, to own another person as property, wasn't specifically illegal
Oh.
until
interesting.
2010, something like that. And
Yeah.
in England, I think apparently England is different to the British Empire as well. There's something different with that. But yeah, so yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure they weren't treated as equals
No.
in the 80s.
Oh God, no.
So yeah, I think it was. It's just whether it was illegal or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to go. Yeah, it's a strange thing to go to prison for, throughout our current lens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can't really relate.
No. No. Two students in a school performance of Sweeney Todd had their throats cut because the school supplied an actual straight razor for the throat slitting scene.
Didn't teach them how to shave. Here, just cut up these kids.
You had
the
one
parents
job
will love it.
as the prop guy to make sure it was a fucking prop.
Yeah, we had a thing. I did a short play, where I had to fire a revolver at somebody, and each time it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like one of them, we did it in. We took it to a festival in the Czech Republic, and like shipping a gun over. You're in a foreign country. The amount of checks just to be like for my own sanity.
Was it like a starter pistol?
No, it was well. I don't know. I assumed like a flare gun. I don't know why, but yeah, it looked like a revolver,
Yeah.
and yeah, it just fired blanks. But it was
Yeah.
like it
So it was
seemed
a
crazy.
stage. Yeah. But
Yeah,
it
something
felt,
stage
it felt
pistol.
and looked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just got like, the amount of checks I did for that. I'd never rehearse a play with an actual knife.
No.
Even if they gave me a real knife, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing this.
What's the thing? Even if you were the guy holding the razor, just look at it and be like, yeah, that's not fake.
Yeah, well,
you
would
know
touch
it's
it.
not fake looking at it.
If you were to be responsible, you test it.
Yeah.
I'm being given the responsibility of holding this. Is it going to kill anybody?
Yeah.
Ow, it might do. Well, I'm not going to do that.
I suppose it's what constitutes as a fake razor. Like, it could still be metal. It could just be completely blunt.
Yeah. Even then. If
Like
it
the
could
back
cut
of a
people-
butter knife.
If it could cut people.
It could literally just be like the back of a butter knife. And if you just run that across someone's throat, you're not going to do anything to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, if it looks like it was jagged or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say not even the... Yeah, it's children, isn't it?
It's like a high school.
So it is the school's responsibility.
Yeah.
I'd still put responsibility on the people wielding it, but if they're kids, you have to
Yeah.
go like, they're kids.
Yeah.
They only got
Twice.
a little bit of
Happened twice.
it. First time. Cut my throat once. Full knee.
Yeah.
Cut me again. Yeah. Fuck you.
Like, ugh. Korean parents have begun hiring thugs who protect their children from bullies. Those thugs pose as fake uncles and intimidate bullies who have been harassing the bullied kid. In some cases, the thugs will visit their bullies' parents at their workplace and publicly shame them.
That's one thing that I don't think I'll ever understand how to react to until it happens.
Oh, like someone bullying your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've always had the same thing about my brother, who's
Yeah.
8 years my younger.
Yeah.
So even if anything happened to him now, I don't know how I'd react. Like, if
It's
I was in
awkward,
the
isn't it?
situation, it'd be
Because
like,
on the one hand, it's like you got to be very protective over your own kids.
Mm.
On the other hand, I think once they get to a certain age, you want to make sure that they can also protect themselves.
oh yeah. But if it gets to a point where they failed to do that,
Yes.
of course they need to learn how to look after themselves.
Yeah. I don't
But
mean you
the
let your
emotional
kid be
rage-
abused, but
Oh, yeah.
like Yeah.
But I agree with you that bullying is a natural part of
100%.
human society.
Yeah.
And you can argue that maybe it shouldn't exist, but before that, I think you should argue that you should learn how to look how to
It's
deal
never
with it.
not going to exist. It's
Yeah.
part of who we are.
Maybe, I mean, in Star Trek it doesn't exist, so it might not exist in the
Yeah,
future,
but they're all
right?
fucking socialists, aren't they?
I don't know. They got rid of money. Is that socialism? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it? Twats. Like, they got aliens though. Do all socialists have aliens? Because I'm like Storm Area
Yeah.
51 socialists.
Well, it's complete fiction, so
It's not real. But you could get to a point where bullying becomes less and less and less. But the most important thing is to learn how to conduct yourself around that kind of situation.
yeah.
And the only way, unfortunately, that you learn that is you have to be in those. You have to be put in those situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to compare all children to dogs, but I mean, speaking as a dog owner, I've had to learn how to. Unfortunately, there are so many things that your dog can only learn by experiencing negative situations.
Yeah, you have to let your dog.
You just have to have something bad happen to them
Well,
before they learn. Like my dog's really guilty of getting overexcited. As say you're about to throw a tennis ball,
Yeah.
she'll just start running in a line.
Oh right.
Without knowing where it is. So if you throw it, she just starts sprinting, not paying much attention. She bumped into like a metal gate.
Oh.
And just like she tried to run through a closed gate and just like and was like, what the fuck was that? And
Yeah.
you go like, yeah, you could argue a number of things. The gate should have been opened more. The gate was bad. The
Yeah.
fence was bad.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have thrown the ball. Or you go, well, first of all, the dog shouldn't have run face first into a wall.
Yeah.
That's the number one lesson here, and unfortunately, that's how you kind of have to
Yeah.
learn it through negative. Same with dealing with other dogs.
Well, you have to let dogs and kids in that respect very much alike in that you have to let a supposed aggressor teach them about boundaries.
Yeah,
Like if a dog's getting very overly excited and another dog doesn't like it, you have to let that dog be like, "Fuck off,"
yeah. They
because
have to
otherwise they
learn how to
won't get it.
communicate.
And I think it's the same with kids. Like you can
Yeah.
be like, "That's not very nice. Don't do that. This person doesn't like it." But if the other one's just like, "No," like.
But it's so
much more effective.
irrational. Like if it was a 5-year-old kid and my kid was 5 and they got in a fist fight,
Yeah.
I'm sure that I wouldn't be as. I'd be upset or whatever.
Yeah,
but I'd probably
you just
more like we
pull
need
them
to
apart.
talk. It's kids.
Yeah.
But say they were 15.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you go like, I could easily punch this kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's more. It's a less of an obvious difference between you and a 5-year-old and you and a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And then you go,
yeah.
say you were in the right method of mind, you are rational enough not to explode your emotions at that point. You're gonna get emotionally aggressive with the parents. So it's like it's not gonna. No idea what I would do. So you just go like, see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, it's a weird thing. Can't remember what sparked it. What sparked that? Something about bullying.
Koreans hiring
Oh,
thugs.
yeah. So yeah. So you can understand public shaming. Public shaming, I can definitely get on board with.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
love yelling at people
Yeah.
in public.
Yeah.
It's just
When
one of
they
my.
fucked up.
It's just one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a whole thing about shush, 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 shush.
Yeah.
Pay attention to me. I'm gonna get naked. I've got a gun. But panic. But no, it's like there's definitely an enjoyment in not being embarrassed to scream at people.
Yeah, because people don't expect it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time people and it's the same shit with the kids and the dogs with the boundaries. It's like people don't people will fuck around because they haven't been called on their shit.
Yeah. So I can definitely understand going to the parents, and I've always found that to be the best method to not necessarily diffuse any situation,
Yeah.
but to assert a rational authority onto something. If somebody's doing something wrong, the worst thing that they want is to be singled out and addressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I said before I was in an Asda, and there was the guy in front of me was yelling at the cashiers. There was a queue of say 5 people.
Yeah.
The cashiers were they were being quite slow, and the guy was like yelling at them to get a fucking move on. And I was just behind him and just like addressed it as in like, are you in a fucking rush? Like, why are you? What something along those lines.
Yeah.
And like you could tell that he forgot that he was in
Yeah.
another world. Not necessarily because of me. It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
But the fact that somebody called them on what they were doing.
Yeah.
I think people forget that they're being held accountable for something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand shaming the parents, but getting organised crime involved feels a bit much. But then you've got a job, you work.
Thugs aren't necessarily organised.
Well, they know where the kids live. They're going to the school. There's some level of organisation.
Yeah. I think there's a thing of them sitting next to them in class and all kinds of shit.
Just, trying to protect them from geography homework, whatever.
Well, from bullies.
About geography homework. Your geography homework isn't as well colour-coded as mine. Smack. Don't you dare talk to Jave. It's a weird name. Mr. Jave.
And finally, dying of laughter is an actual cause of death. The last notable cause was when a man died of laughter because his pulse hit an estimated 250 to 500 beats per minute while watching A Fish Called Wanda.
His pulse got so high because he was laughing.
Yeah. Makes
so
sense.
Excited.
It's all your muscles and it just... It's very strenuous.
I guess. Never thought of it as exciting before. But I guess it is.
The
You're
thing
breathing
is,
less.
it seems to me that that's a fault with your body. Like, you'd be like, okay, it's not that funny. You're going to die. Like, time to stop now.
I've always thought that I should probably laugh less. But I think that
I don't think so.
I think my laughter is what keeps my gorilla demons at bay. Like, I think if I didn't laugh, I'd get way angrier. That's just that release valve of, it's really just a gorilla screaming.
Yeah.
But it's coming out. That's why it's always quite loud. But yeah, in terms of conversation, if you watch a panel show and something funny happens, it's again that thing of, it draws attention to myself unintentionally.
Yeah.
If I was tempted to get one of those, what are those weird Bane masks you can get now so that you can sing and no one can hear you?
I've never seen those.
They're soundproof masks.
Wow.
I've seen them on Facebook adverts and whatever.
That's a different, special kind of introvert.
It's so that you can. It's marketed as so you can sing at full volume without disturbing anybody else.
Okay.
It's what it's marketed as, but then you've also got like I think there were other like maybe snoring. I don't know. Air's got to get in, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to be something weird going on. But yeah,
maybe that's it.
I just
they
thought
can't
it'd be
hear
really
you
funny.
over
I always
the sound
wanted
of
it.
the oxygen pump.
Well, I just wanted it so that I could have it so that I could scream my demons out when you did something and you'd just be confused.
It would be much better if you could just very faintly hear it.
Open up one of the vents just a little bit.
Yeah, like Ace Ventura with the sliding door.
But yeah, I really wanted one so that I could just have it in my hand because you can just do like that and it's soundproof. So you just go, rah, rah.
That's pretty cool.
Just to say, so he's watching, so never breaking eye contact. Like, oh yeah. Anyway, what's going on?
Yeah.
Tell me more about your day.
People do that screaming into their pillows and shit, don't they? I always see that on like TV and films and stuff.
I've never done that.
No.
I just like screaming, so I just scream. My neighbours have kind of gotten used to it, evidently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if you could do that, you could probably. My memory's all over the place. What the fuck was this? Somebody did something.
I can't remember. Jesus Christ.
It's good though.
It was.
We went from Korea.
Dying of laughter.
You're right. So, yeah, I should laugh less. I was tempted to get a soundproofing thing. Yeah. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
People say it's a good way to go, but I'm not sure if it is.
Yeah. Well, dying of laughter.
Yeah.
It sounds really painful.
Yeah.
You were essentially having a heart attack prior to, like...
It's basically a heart attack.
Being totally, totally exhausted.
Yeah.
And plus, A Fish Called Wanda was all right.
I wouldn't go around dying over it.
No.
Yeah, maybe at the time it was the funniest shit.
I guess. Know. But this was post-Python as well.
Yeah. Yeah, where people genuinely died of laughter.
Yeah, the world's funniest joke.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna die at that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a hardcore fan. But yeah, I think I should. There's certainly situations that I should laugh less. I think it's a weird thing to control. But we'll see.
I don't think you should control
this
it.
means I wouldn't be able to work in a lot of different fields. I told you before I couldn't be a scientist.
Yeah.
I just find it too funny.
Yeah. I can pinpoint.
Coroner, crime scene investigator.
I can pinpoint moments when I laughed the most for the most nonsensical reasons.
Yeah.
I think I saw. It was an artist interpretation that someone had done of all the Disney princesses as cement mixers, and for some reason it made me absolutely die.
Well, that's the thing. It's when your imagination just goes away from you.
Yeah.
And you're catching up, and there's just so many more triggers that keep on happening.
Yeah.
That's why that's why it's funny. Like whatever makes you laugh is brilliant. Because
Yeah.
it's just it's not going to be necessarily what it is you see or hear.
Yeah.
It's where it takes you on a journey. Like the amount of times I've seen you look at me puzzled. Like we were seeing Bill Burr, and just because he said one statement, and that statement, while factual, and it's from his Walk Your Way Out, and it was a bit he was doing about the security checks at airports that they do the X-ray around you.
Yeah.
He was saying that was the billionaire's way of killing off the population.
Yeah, just slowly irradiate you over time.
Yeah, and the setup from that, he said, like, they came for a meeting one day and they said, why don't we just slowly cook them at the airport? And it's and the structure of it, I'm assuming, was meant to be like, that's the premise that people go, huh? What's he talking about? And then he goes in, and then it makes sense because it's a funny cartoony image.
Yeah.
But as soon as he said that, I was like, yeah, I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And not even where he was going, but my brain went away from me and had all these ideas about it.
Yeah.
Then I start laughing, and maybe just like, why are you? This isn't. He hasn't said the joke yet. It's just, yeah. But the premise launched my imagination into something.
Yeah.
So it can be anything. Yeah, it's just anything that makes you laugh. I guess you could die from laughing, as a good thing. As in on a gravestone.
I wouldn't choose it.
No. I still think fighting off a giant animal.
Yeah.
I think
that
that's
seems
the way
like an
to go.
honourable way to go.
Yeah. Stepping up to sacrifice yourself by fighting somebody else.
Yeah, but then
Like
if it's giant...
Billy in Predator, who's like, they're running a certain way and he's a Native American or something. He goes like, no, for whatever reason, he just turns around, cuts his chest, and then dies.
I mean, think of all those poor fuckers in Australia who've died because koala bears fell on them. Like, they call them drop bears because they just fall out of trees and kill people. And people, in the same way that loads of people die every year from falling coconuts. It's like, it's not fun. It's almost there. It's like the joke's almost finished. That's almost good enough to put on a gravestone, but it's not quite. It's just missing something.
Yeah. Well, it's like my grandma had 7 heart attacks, and she died. No, like over, a decade.
That's impressive.
And the 7th one killed her, but it was like there was other things going on. She'd recently lost her husband like 6 months before. You're more willing to die if you're not happy.
Yeah,
but
there's
you
loads
kind
of
of
people
go
that
like,
kind of go off after their spouse has died.
Yeah, this is the natural thing. If you go like, well, death happens, it's acceptance. It's time that I did as well. But like, you kind of think that, well, you fought off 6 of them.
Yeah,
what's something else has to happen from the 7th.
Yeah,
there's something else needs to kill it. But it's like, it's just inevitability.
Yeah.
Does that mean that if you're old, you'd be more scared of laughter because you
might die?
Don't make me laugh.
Yeah.
I want to see Timmy's 12th birthday. I want to live. Yeah, killed him with a joke.
Yeah. Bumper joke book. Are you trying to kill me?
Just like some really stupid prank.
Yeah.
We took Gladys to go see Jackass 3D. Died. Yeah, she had a real sick, twisted sense of humour we didn't realise.
Yeah.
She let us know by dying.
Yeah. To the point where you're even eliminating puns from your life. And you're like, I don't think a pun has ever made me laugh, but it might.
Oh, what if it was one of those terrible jokes? There's a terrible pun on like daytime television.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
on the
I
news.
guess they were lucky to get away, and then
yeah, when it's someone that's
they die.
Yeah.
From a titter.
Yeah.
As the older you get, the less you laugh.
Yeah. Well, maybe that idea that you've got like you have there was a theory for a while that said, well, you have a finite number of heartbeats.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's the same with laughs. So just don't. Maybe the most joyless people will live the longest.
Live the least, because the more joy you have, the faster your heart rate.
No, I think you want a slow heart rate, don't you?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the more joyous you are, the more you're laughing. The
So
faster
you've
your
got better
heart rate.
cardio.
No, you'll die sooner if you laugh more, because your heart rate will be higher than a
Right.
sad person. The sad will inherit the.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Great. Just a whole world of Neils.
Well, I guess this is what we do. Yeah, there was a thing about heart rates. The smaller the animal, the faster the heart rate, the shorter the lifespan. Which is why bigger dogs live longer than smaller dogs.
Yeah, but then parrots live for like 100 years.
Yeah, but you can eat a parrot's heart, can't you?
I don't know.
Oh, is that frogs?
I think
You can eat a frog's heart.
you
They
can
do
eat
so in
anything's
Thailand.
heart, can't you?
You can eat an elephant's heart, can you? A blue whale's heart.
I don't know. I watched a video with Theo Bond today saying he'd eaten an owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, for legal reasons, he didn't.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't eat an owl.
Do you like Theo Von?
I've not watched any of his stand. Oh no! I think I saw like a 20-minute clip and I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, as in like a YouTube video clip of him.
No,
doing
it's
stuff?
a bit of stand-up.
Bit of stand-up
Yeah.
on like a released special.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really weird. He's really good, especially now. But there's something that's so strange about the last 3 years. Like I watched a special, a huge a stand-up set of his from a couple of years ago, and he's kind of one way, and he's kind of got this whole different energy. It's like the whole thing of finding your voice.
Yeah.
His voice has changed to something really good now.
Within a couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm just fascinated. He's really good. His podcast is really good, and his appearances on podcasts is great. He's got amazingly good, sharp, quick references
Yeah.
that are out of the blue from nowhere that make really great imagery.
Yeah.
He's really good. But yeah, it's just so strange seeing him before, and you go like, he's had some things about addiction that he's talked about. So I don't know whether that was a deciding factor in it or something. But yeah, it's really fascinating because he's gaining a lot of popularity at the moment, and quite rightly so. So yeah, it's just interesting to see people change so much.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
Finding your voice.
Anyway, yeah, feels like a good place to
Yeah, fair enough.
finish the episode.
I am at Sing It Steve.
Yep, I'm at Nick Snip, and we're at Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, you can email us wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yep, we've got the Facebook page. We're on YouTube. If you want to help us out, give us
Like,
a
share,
comment.
and subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribes is the big one. If you haven't
Yeah.
subscribed to us, we'd really appreciate it. If
Yeah.
you don't, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's the deciding factor. As long as we say, if we don't, you don't have to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That makes it less
Live
shitty
your
for
life.
me.
Do it if you want, but live your life.
Yeah, there's so many things about people being like, hi guys, I did this video, and the only way I can do it is if you buy the merch and do this and do
Yeah.
that. And I'm just like, I get your sales pitch,
Yeah.
but I don't like that. Just, if you want to show that you like us or help us out, do that, but don't have to. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, and very close to releasing a version of the website to be put out soon. So
Cool.
That should be quite cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got a minute month, well, minute week or two.
A couple of weeks. Yeah,
And
we've got to
it's-
put together a video each.
No excuses / motivational speaking.
Yeah.
Could do anything with that, and that
Yeah.
should be released in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So keep productive, keep on it.
Cool.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, that was 146. See you next week.
Yeah.